flight accident I chose was the AirAsia Flight 8501. The plane involved in this accident was an Airbus A320. It used an IAE V2500 series engine. There are two engines under each wing, and it is a turbofan engine. It has 111 to 120 kilonewtons of thrust. It weighs 2,327 kilograms, has a fan diameter of 1.587 meters, and is 3.2 meters long. The bypass ratio is 5.4 to 1, and the compression ratio is 35.8 to 1. The Airbus A320 made its first flight on February 22, 1987. This plane is mostly a commercial plane and is used for shorter flights. It typically holds about 150 seats. Here are some of the Airbus A320 specs. It has a 6,100 kilometer range. It is 37.57 meters long with a 34.1 meter wingspan, and it's 35.8 meters with the charkets included. The wing area is 122.6 meters squared with a sweepback angle of 25 degrees. Its cruising speed is Mach 0.78, but its max operating speed is Mach 0.82. Its operating empty weight is 42,600 kilograms. The Airbus A320 is still being used today. There are 7,630 in commercial service right now. It has 330 airline operators. There has been 8,674 total built since 1987. So the AirAsia Flight 8501 accident. The Flight 8501 was going from Hwana International Airport in Surabaya, Indonesia, to the Singapore Changi Airport in Singapore. When first analyzing the accident, they thought it was bad weather that caused the crash, since originally they did not see any blatant problems with the plane, but later found out, after more investigation, that it had nothing to do with weather at all. What happened first was the warning light came on indicating that a component in the rudder wasn't working. This is a common problem in this type of plane and happened numerous times just in that 1 year. The warning light had come on for this specific plane 3 days before the flight. The pilot tried resetting it 3 times, but it did not work. The pilot then pulled the circuit breaker out to try and reboot it mid-flight. The pilot was not instructed to do so and should never try to reboot it while in the air unless they are told to, but the pilot had seen someone do that 3 days earlier to treat the problem and thought he would try it too. The flight envelope protection, which is the plane's control system that stops the pilot from setting any controls outside of limits, stopped working due to the missing circuit breaker. With this compromised, the plane ended up stalling and plummeting into the ocean, killing all 162 people on board. The rudder component failure itself did not cause the flight accident. Had it been left alone, the plane would have made it safely to land. The accident impacted aviation safety in a couple different ways. The most prominent thing it did was provide more pilot training. They need to be more prepared on how to handle situations and what to do to fix the plane. They also started to prevent crew members from improvising solutions. They need to listen and do what the manual says only, and if need be, then instructions from experts on the ground monitoring the flight will give further instructions. They stated more explicitly in the Airbus manual on when to reset computers. They also emphasized that you should never troubleshoot mid-flight unless the manual says to. This accident was primarily caused by lack of training and knowledge of the pilot and crew members. So overall, in aviation safety, they want to make sure that the pilots are more educated and more equipped to handling emergency situations to prevent another Flight 8501 situation from happening. That was my project.